Hi, my name is Moss, and I'm creating a boss rush game called Duck Norris Tales, where you play as a duck saving the world from an alien invasion. In July of 2024, I thought I had everything figured out. I created an alpha demo, polished it, and it was ready to get some real player feedback. And my plan was simple: watch people play, take notes, and use that feedback to improve the final release of the game. What could go wrong, right? Well, absolutely everything went wrong. And I set up a local gaming event with my laptop. And the first blue players were some friends. They were hardcore gamers. So they jumped right in, and I didn't have any intervention. They glazed through the tutorial section, played through the bosses, and gave me some really good feedback. I needed to polish the gamepad controls and work on a few bugs. Or so I thought. And I was feeling great at this point. The first players didn't have any problems whatsoever. And honestly, I expected many players to have similar experience. Then reality hit me pretty hard. The next player walked up, started the tutorial, and struggled with the simple jump. He tried for 2 minutes straight, mashing buttons just to fail miserably at every attempt. And then looked at me and said, "This is so frustrating," and gave me the controller and walked out. I thought this was just a one time thing. Then it happened again and again. And after 3 hours of watching many people struggle with what I considered basic mechanic, I realized something horrifying: that my tutorial was a complete mess. Here's what I learned the hard way. A good tutorial doesn't tell you what buttons to press. It teaches you why and when to press them. Take something as simple as jumping. I had a prompt that says press the jump button, and that was it. Obviously, now I see it, that wasn't good enough. I watched player after player do the exact same thing that I told them. They pressed the jump button, did a short hop, and couldn't clear the gap. And most of them assumed that the game was broken. None of them knew that you can hold the jump button for a longer jump. And why would they? I never told them that. And it gets worse. The people who did figure out the hold and jump mechanic, they discovered it by sheer coincidence, and usually after minutes of frustration. And the one who couldn't figure it out just got stuck. I spent the next day completely redesigning the level, made the gap smaller just for the time being, until I can revisit that later. And that brings us to today. It's the day where we gut everything we have and start all over again. And the first section I wanted to visit was obviously the jump section, because it is a core mechanic in dodging the bosses, and if you can control your duck, well, you're gonna get stomped. So instead of just saying press the jump button, I created a situation where you have to hold the jump button to progress. And the gap that's literally impossible to cross was a tap jump. No choice but to learn the mechanic properly, and made a sticky prompt to tell you exactly how to do it. And this experience was a really good reason why you need to set up an in-person playtest. Not only do you get to see how they play the game, you get to see their emotions and frustrations, and even joy when they beat the boss. And the thing about design is that you think you know the players, but that couldn't be further from the truth. I understand how I would play the game, but certainly I don't understand how you would play it. And this isn't fair because I pretty much know every mechanic there is because I programmed every one of them. And this is where things got really interesting. I started digging into why some players breathe through it and others that hit the wall immediately. And the pattern was obvious. People familiar with the genre treated everything as second nature. They expected to hold the jump button and experiment with the mechanics. But newcomers, they did exactly what I told them to. Nothing more, nothing less. And a good tutorial has to treat everyone the same. It can't assume knowledge, and it can't let you skip ahead. It has to systematically teach you every mechanic and force you to demonstrate them before moving forward. So I spent the past 2 weeks completely rebuilding the tutorial section from scratch. Every interaction now requires a player to perform the mechanic properly at least once, and show me that you can do it. And that's why instead of taking you to the next section, I now have a tutorial boss, because this is the whole point of the game. You need to know how the enemies choreograph their attacks, and also I wanted you to understand how to use the healing and the shooting mechanic, since you don't have a secondary attack just yet. And the difference was night and day. The expectations were set in stone where you absolutely need to know how to use the controls in order to play, and simply mashing the buttons won't cut it. Even though I tried to convince myself that maybe the players were not paying attention, however, it wasn't the players' fault. It's my job as a game designer to communicate well. And looking back, this disastrous playtest session was the best thing that happened to Duck Norris Tales. It forced me to confront the gap between what I thought I was communicating and what the players were actually experiencing. And the lesson is that the game isn't finished when it works for you. It's finished when it works for someone who have never touched the game before. And have you ever had a moment where a player feedback completely changed your perspective? Let me know in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. If you made it this far and you're interested in optimizing things and becoming better, I've created a new Discord server for like-minded people who wants to take this journey to the next level, and you can find it in the links below. If you enjoyed this video, please leave it a like and a comment. It will really help me with the algorithm and help the channel grow. If you enjoyed this video, you'll enjoy this video as well. Thank you so much, and remember, just take it one day at a time, and I'll see you in the next video.